Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Wardy's Waffle. I'm stood this side of the house at the minute because it is exceedingly rough when you get out here, and I'm not sure that the microphone muffles it enough. There's Frankie coming back from a little wander, so I will just stand here in the shelter of the house. Anyway, this week's update, I'm going to be just looking at the pond in a minute. You can see it's very full, which is good, just looking at that. But you'll see as well, those of you who watch this regularly, I've just had 3 days in Germany with John Deere. Thank you very much to Farrell's and John Deere for that trip. Had a fascinating look at the factory where the 6 series range of tractors are made, and also the combine factory as well. I've got I posted some from the 6 series factory. You'll remember if you watched the midweek update that I wasn't allowed to video anything, and it's my fault because I should have contacted them earlier, and I might have been able to do something with the guidance of somebody in Germany, but I didn't do that, and so I wasn't allowed to film or do anything inside the factory. I've got a lot of footage, a lot of films that I videoed, and a lot of talking to the John Deere people, and also they've got like a harvest forum centre where they've got some combines set up inside that we could look round. They've got the threshing mechanism of 2 combines virtually cut in half, and we've got John Deere personnel talking us through that, so I've got lots of footage on that coming up. I've got so much of it that I'm going to be posting this in dribs and drabs over the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks during Christmas holidays and things like that, but I'm going to be posting some of the John Deere combine footage in today's update, so you've got a bit of that to look forward to, and it is absolutely fascinating and hugely impressive. Also, we had our hedges starting to be cut up on the light land up on the heath from the contractor, that's Fen Farm Pest Control. They're doing the hedge cutting as well. They do it for quite a lot of local farmers as well. And we're looking at the pond, as I've said here, and the water. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoy this coming few minutes. I'm going to keep it to probably 20 minutes if I can. So we'll see you at the end. There's just a couple of things I forgot to mention at the start of this video. One of them is about the British Sugar and NFU sugar contract negotiations. We thought they were going to be finalised last week, but they haven't. We've got a price of £40 a tonne agreed now, which is a massive uplift from where British Sugar started, so that's good. But there's a few other things linked to that. One is the futures link contract that hasn't been sorted. So it's not just the price that's important here, it's all the other things that goes with it as well. And I'll put a link to the grocer website. That is an online news, I suppose, online news site where lots of stories about food and food and farming, and I'll put the link to that below this video description so you can see that and go into that, because that's a really accurate synopsis of what's happening with the discussions. So it's just the futures link dispute at the minute with the futures link contract that's the issue. Now, British Sugar brought out their own contract about 3 weeks ago. Some growers signed, but about 80% haven't, and it's recognised and it's written into the agreements that NFU Sugar act on all sugar beet farmers' behalf, and it's important we do that. Now, we haven't, those 80% haven't signed a contract because we're relying on NFU Sugar and leaving it to them to sort, and it's important that we don't sign. We must have strength in unity like we've got, because it's not just about sugar beet. This is about other sectors in farming, and it's about other things in the industry. So it really is the first that we're all sticking together like this. But the other thing that British Sugar said they would do but haven't done yet is that they would reset the seed orders tables. And what that means is the growers that signed the British Sugar contract would have first dibs at varieties. Now, that's not right, because we should all start off at a level playing field at the start at the same time, because some varieties run out before others. And those growers that signed the British Sugar contract have now benefited from the extra negotiations and all us sticking together, and have got the extra £2 a tonne. So it's important those seed tables are set to zero. Anyway, that's it for the sugar beet contract. And the second thing I need to mention is about Bailey trailers. Those of you who watch these regularly remember I posted a picture and a link about a Bailey trailer painted pink. That was to do with breast cancer, that you made a £25 donation to breast cancer through a Just Giving link, and you were entered into a draw for the trailer. Now, some of you have said you've done that, but you haven't heard from Bailey Trailers if you've been put in the draw or not. If you haven't had an email back or notification back that you have donated to breast cancer, please call the Bailey Trailers office, and that is 01529 303 411, and ask for Michelle, and tell her what you've done and she'll sort it for you. So please do that if you haven't heard back from Just Giving or from Bailey Trailers. Oh yes, and we will get into this update in a second. Tomorrow I'm heading off up to Liverpool, and the rest of the farming YouTubers, we're going to be supporting Ollie on his fantastic tractor run. So we'll see some of you on that. I'll do 1 or 2 live videos throughout the day. Anyway, I really am now getting to this week's update. So Frankie's going to come with us to the pond. Oh, I just wanted to show you this. Never seen these before. And I think it was our builder Ron said this is what we need to get. These are frost protection for the taps. They're really good because you undo that clip, and behind there is a cap. Sorry, is the tap. And I've got 2 taps. That one's hot and cold washed, sort of linked behind the utility sink. So that's for washing the dogs off, and that's just cold water for watering in the summer. But this is linked hot and cold. So, and these little protectors actually keep the frost off, which I've never seen these before. So I'll need 2 hands to that. I'll do that when I come back. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, come on now, Frankie. Let's have a look at the pond. So we've got the water from the front of the drive comes under the grass here, under the turf, right next to the path, and we've got the roof water from the house is connected under here, and it comes into a pipe near the pond. And you can see we've had a lot of rain again last night. We've had about 40 millimetres, I think 45 millimetres in the last week, so pushing nearly 2 inches. Now that is the pipe that is fed from underneath here, and it takes the water off the front of the drive where my disco's parked, and it takes the house roof water as well, and it comes into the pond here. Now you can see that is underwater. I think we need to drop that a little bit. There is an overflow at that far end, and that goes into the dike, and I think we need to reset that a little bit and just drop this water level a little bit. Barry's done a great job extending his pond, as you can see. I hope you can hear me all right. Frankie enjoys running around here. So yeah, we just need to I think adjust that pipe a little bit, and or keep that pipe rather, but adjust the overflow at the far end. So we'll see where we go. That stick there was the water level at the bottom of the bank, so it's risen, I don't know, probably over a foot, 15 inches up onto the bank. So that stick there we put in when we started to pump some water in it before we've had a lot of rain for a long while, but that's where the water level was when we finished extending the pond here. As you can see, it's very windy here. You can just see by Nala's ears flapping and a coat flapping. Whoops. So we'll go behind the shelter and carry on with this update. Nala's going around to see what Frank is doing. So we've got a lot of hedges to cut. We haven't got our own hedge cutter replaced yet, so we've got a local contractor in to do it. And this is up on the heath, on the light land. And we can do on the roadside here. We're still not going to go in the fields at the minute because it's just too wet at the moment, but we've got one stubble fielder here we can do. But we do these every year, and I don't believe in people saying that you need to leave the hedges 2 or 3 years. They're so big. People say if you do cut them regularly you lose all the berries. Well, this is a hedge that Jason cut, who's on this tractor now. This is a hedge, I'm just going to show you now from a clip, one he did in September, and this is what how many berries you can leave. So cutting the hedges every year does not annihilate them if you do them properly. So you can see there, nice height. I don't know what this hedge is, probably 8 feet it's been trimmed to, but just look at the berries on here that are still here, even though this hedge has been trimmed, just absolutely full of them. And because it's trimmed regularly, any birds that nest in here can get out the way of predators. So it serves quite a few purposes, but the berries on here are just full. So the whole concept of managing hedges, I think this is an absolutely perfect example. So looking down this drive to the house where Rhonda and I used to live, Tom's now moved in here. Hedge looking really, really neat. So Jason, and along here as well. And then down the roadside, I'm just keeping out the in the vehicle at the minute because of the wind, and I haven't got my muffled microphone with me. And I know I get complaints if I put videos up that are windy. Anyway, all the way down here. Looks really good. So this is now where the combines are. made. We've gone inside to have lunch. Oh, this looks a bit smart. Now we're talking. So on the wall here we have some past harvesters. Bit of a difference between that one and that one. And that is the very first thing I think John Deere made, was that plough with. So we've got a bit of presentation now about the combines. Good. It's all made of pallets.
Combines, our hay and forage equipment through forage harvesters, mowers and balers, our crop care, which is our sprayers and our very well-known drills, intelligent solutions, let's say the technology, and our parts and service. It's our centre for stockpile of harvesting equipment. It is European forage, as I say, a dedicated only built here in Zweibrücken. Total production of units in 2023 was about just over 3,500 units. So despite some severe supply chain pressures, we still managed to produce a pretty decent year. And there's around about 1,000 in plants, but Brookshall also is our cab factory. Produces all of our operator stations for all of our European built tractors, all of our combines here at Zweibrücken, our forages, and our sprayers as well. So about 225 employees there. But machines are nothing without technology, and our technology centre at Hedge in Germany, around about halfway between here and Mannheim, is our sort of technology centre in terms of development of on-board and off-board technologies, both in terms of receivers, displays, and op centre, and all of our harvest lab technologies developed there as well. So again, a lot of people working there. Again, when we look at that compared to the investment we're putting into technology, we realise that it's a huge area of growth in agriculture. We're close down to really leading series. A Walker combine to the bottom there, single rotor S series and two top models there, X series combines. All T's and S's are produced here at Zweibrücken. The X's do come from Harvester Works in the US, although heavily developed and for our tough European conditions. And a huge amount of things like residue management have been designed actually in Zweibrücken for that product line. But it's making sure that we've got smart technology integrated into that, and we can get the most out of the machines. But it's also, cost of machines are rising ever more and more, aren't they? I mean, machines we've seen exponential growth in terms of costs. So we've got to get machines to last longer. We've got to get the most out of them. We've got to make sure that we're offering the best life cycle solutions. So we're really looking at that small grain segment. Forager Group yesterday, obviously talking about the dairy and livestock area, and the corn and soy, obviously, if you were more of a US kind of market, we're talking about that. But those technology stacks, we want to talk about in more detail. We want to look at how can we approach harvest and make sure we're maximising that before we get there. Just measuring yield with the combine, it's almost too late. You can't do anything about it, can you?
Now, the different stages, so preparation, planting, nurturing our plants, and then taking it all the way through to harvest. So starting with preparation, so that is our 4-track tractor with a 4.5 metre surface area footprint, so reducing compaction and helping our soils. Obviously, we realise the ARX is not for everyone, not the solution for everyone. So what else can we do to help with our soils? So we have auto track that we can offer. So auto track enables us to drive in a straight line up and down
Turn your slurry tanker into a fertilizer applicator. Using near-infrared technology, NIR, the well-known Harvest Lab sensor measures crop constituents on the go on your forage harvester. On top of that, you can now fit the sensor to your slurry tanker to measure nutrient levels in the manure with the same precision. One solution for all seasons. The NIR sensor on the slurry tanker measures N, P, K, NH4, dry matter and volume accurately, with more than 4,000 measurements per second. Manure is a nutrient-rich but very heterogeneous organic fertilizer. Manure application is based on a specific nutrient target rate, for example for nitrogen. TIA, Tractor Implement Automation, adjusts the application rate through the speed control of the tractor, which is fully automatic in John Deere tractors. When speed control has reached its limit, for instance, the flow rate is modified in addition on compatible slurry tankers. Even more precision, applications based on the predefined prescription map with site-specific nutrient levels to match current soil conditions. Fully utilize the nutritional value of manure with John Deere Manure Sensing.
Technology is the next one in the list. We went from individual nozzle control, now it's a bit smarter and actually target individual weeds themselves. So we call it see and spray. That's from us. That's our point. So it's the entry level value in targeted crop spray. It's not the be all and end all. We are self-propelled as well. At the moment, it's a green on brown type of working philosophy. It's looking for that green wheat on a brown background. Our sprayers in America are running this technology for the last 2-3 years with great success. So therefore, for sure, all the findings and all of the technology we're bringing to the UK is based on solid testing and information brought over from America. It's probably one of the biggest costs you've got on your farm right now. There's probably sprays, herbicides, etc. So if you're able to reduce that by anything close to 70%, that'll be a massive benefit to your business and to the environment too. This is where we're going to get to. I think we see this becoming very commonplace throughout. So variable rate application, whether it's on the manure sensing side, whether it's on the seeding side, whether it's on the applications afterwards, it becomes commonplace throughout. It's got all the nutrients it's ever got. Now we're going to look into harvest. Now, the obvious thing here, you're going to say, well, what product do we have? Well, we've got a combine harvester. But I'm not actually going to talk about that at the moment. I'm going to refer back to the Harvest Lab 3000. Now you might ask, now where does this come into the harvest process? Like why am I talking about a sensor that's on a desk here, this NIR sensor? Well, NIR sensor last year has now got another use. Not only can it do manure sensing, not only can it work on a forage harvester, it can work with a combine harvester as well. Yeah, whoever said 11-12%, well done. That's very well good. It's certainly getting drier as it goes on. But that just shows you what we can do. Very simple, very easy. It's technology that we can use.
So that's finished that part. We're now heading into the building next door here where the machines are. So that's it for this week's update. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this content. There'll be more John Deere stuff coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to be doing 1 or 2 live clips from Ollie, from Ollie's farm. And look forward to seeing you then taking part in this brilliant tractor run. So see you tomorrow or see you at the next update in midweek.